You know, this world is a very strange thing where you have to comply with all the rules and the regulations. You got to comply with things that you just don't want to be involved with, such as taxes, such as being an eternal soul trapped in the human body and wanting to do more with your life, but you're restricted due to money, a man-made thing, and it just makes life more frustrating. And then you got to go through all the passive aggressive crap that goes on in life where you already know a lot of it comes from how people perceive skin color configuration and how people have their own biases, their own bigotries, and their own things of that nature. Life is already hard. Life is already tough. And when you have to deal with emotional trauma, you got to deal with all these outside external forces that are trying to hold you down, trying to break you down, trying to destroy you, and trying to ultimately, it's just trying to make you believe that you are just not worthy of existence. When in fact, there are billions, millions of people that have certain talents and attributes. Like I always say this because I always want to be an encourager. I always want to offer encouragement. Because when I was in a certain position in life, I dreamed that somebody older than me would come into my life and show me the ropes, how to make music, how to rap, how to do this, how to do that. But it just never really happens. And I remember a long time ago, man, how it felt to be rapping, making music, freestyling at kickbacks, but I never thought how to turn it into a business, you know. And that's one thing that you're going to learn when you get older is that whatever you do, whatever's your passion, whatever you truly love, and whatever that you truly want to do with your life, you have to figure out how to make money from it, how to turn what you love into a passion or into a business, how to turn your passion into a business. And it's very difficult because whatever passion you have, there's competition, people that's already doing it, people that are trying to do it like you in the same position as you, the same level, people that are, even below your level, people that are just dreaming about it, people that are higher than you, people that are living like gods compared to you, whatever dream it is, like you want to be an actor. Well, you got Leonardo DiCaprio, you got Samuel L. Jackson, Tom Cruise, etc., 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 etc. You want to be a rapper? Well, you got Drake, Kendrick Lamar, people at the top. Then you got underground rappers. You got all types of rappers, TikTok rappers, people who make songs just for that, YouTube rappers. You got all types of shit, You got people that are just influencers that just start to rap, you know? And it makes it very difficult for people that really, truly care about this and really have genuine talent to get to the top because everybody's just looking at it as a money scheme. And that's the world that we live in. It absolutely sickens me that a lot of us have to have our talents held back just because we don't have enough money. We have to get our talents held back because we lack. And that's bullshit. It's bullshit. If I could figure out a way how to make consistent money, selling beats, raps, shit like that, then I would do that full time like Nick Mira. Have my own limited liability corporation, something like that, and just start proliferating musical art. But one thing about life, man, it's like it seems like whenever you're having like a good time in life, you would always expect some bad shit to come. It's like a damn boomerang. You throw the boomerang and it comes back around and it's hit you in the fucking face and knocks out your eye, you lose a couple of teeth, you fall over, hit your head, you fall down the hill, and no one even asks you if you're all right. They come down the hill and start stomping on your neck and kicking you and spitting on you and putting salt in your wounds and then snatching the money out your pockets. And then you're like, damn, is life gonna do me like that? And just as you try to climb up the hill, after getting badly beaten and robbed, damn crocodile comes out of nowhere and bites your leg and drags you under and rips you in half and decimates you. You see that? That's how life is, man, especially when you don't have any type of connections. A lot of people that are wealthy and rich, you have to look at their network. As that one saying goes, your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. Who you network with, who do you associate with? That's going to be your network, ultimately, your net worth. Because if you associate yourself with everybody around you, just a regular, everyday person, then, you have to meet those power players in life. You have to meet, the captain on the football team that knows this, that knows that, and his uncle is a Freemason, a 32nd degree Freemason in Las Vegas, and has a big old, or has some big ranch in Nevada, or he has some property in New York, or he has some property in Europe, or a yacht in Spain, or some shit like that, something insane like that, And being around those type of power players, gives you access to whatever they have. If you get in good with them, if you notice that every wealthy person, look at who they surround themselves with. Just out here in Las Vegas, not too long ago, I think it was Netanyahu, the president of Israel. Him and a couple of his associates, they got caught in some PDF file ring. And they got diplomatic immunity, meaning that they committed a crime. If that was any one of us who would be in prison right now, and it wouldn't be a pleasant time. But since he has diplomatic immunity, he can fly back to Israel and just live it up. Like, how is that fair? That goes to show you who runs the world from the shadows. If you want to know who rules over you, know who you cannot talk about and you cannot speak about. You see, there's been a proliferation of information that is exposed in certain declarations. Some people may say this amount of people may have perished in a certain time period when there was a major war. And then it comes to find out it was a lot lesser than that. And you come to find out that hell was even less than that. And then you come to find out that if you compare that to the American, slavery situation, you compare that to the, what happened back, with the Führer, then you can see another Holocaust right there before your eyes. What about King Leopold of Belgium when he went into the African Congo and killed how many? 50 million? Tens of millions of people, cutting their hands off and doing barbaric things in nature. Yet we don't call him, the scourge of existence, right? But that's just how this life is, man. I really feel like there's an entity or a being out there that's watching us, and it kind of decides how our life is going to go. It kind of decides if we're going to be great or we're going to be trapped in a crate, So many times in my life, I wanted to have it all, And what I mean have it all, a good place to live, a nice girl in my life, a nice car, lots of money, success in my careers, being able to stream every day like Asmongold. Asmongold made it, y'all. Asmongold used to be in our position, Asmongold used to be in our position. People just took a liking to him. And I think the reason why people targeted me in my channel as what's that guy's name? I think Emperor Dion, that's what his name is. As he said, those guys targeted me because, my skin color configuration and how somebody like me can just rise up in that community so quickly and swiftly because I was actually bringing real shit to the community. Unique videos, unique thumbnails, unique, perspectives. Everybody else was just making the same old video time and time again for years. I came within 1 year, got thousands of subscribers and hundreds of thousands of views, almost 500,000 views. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. I'm just doing what I'm doing now. But with more passion then. Because now I still got to be careful. I can't really can't talk with the full fluidity as I once had. I mean, I still can, but it's like different subjects, Because one thing I learned, man, is that you never, ever give your enemies the rope to hang you, Because people were watching me that were fans secretly. They said they hated you, but they watch all your videos. When I had my first and only live stream, one of the people that doxed me, he was one of the first ones in there in the first 5 minutes. He said, just saying fair, just wanted to be seen by me. Just wanted to be acknowledged by me. This guy lives all the way in Croatia, And he wants to act like, I didn't dox you, it wasn't me. You know what I mean? You liar. Fucking liar. Like, at least have the balls to admit it, you pussy. You had the balls to imitate somebody and get them kicked out their house. You could do that. You had the balls to stalk somebody, the balls to find somebody's name out and put their pictures and download videos and cut the videos up. Like, who does that? These people are fans. Who's going to download somebody's video who you don't like and you don't know? I'm going to download this video and cut the video up and I'm going to try to make him look like the bad guy and this, that, and this, even though I doxed him. No one's going to know. You piece of shit. If there's a real God or a real divine being, I hope it sends you to hell. Because in this life we'll never meet. I'm never going to go to Croatia. Now, that other guy, he's in America, and then YouTube is going to have a new thing where people have to identify. So that guy's going to try to hide because that bitch ass know what he did, But I don't want to get into that. I don't want to even throw fire to the fuel on that because those losers are not even worth mentioning. And I hate using that word, but it's true. Those guys are. How are you going to attack a man who's already down, who didn't do nothing to you? He lied about a story and made this up. What the fuck? You don't know me. You didn't lie about nothing. You were just jealous that you didn't get no coochie or booty. Just weird. So he lied about that, so I'm gonna dox him and hate him. It's like, you're weird. Go bother somebody else. You know? And that's the thing with calling yourself Black Pill, right? But the only reason why is so people to know my fucking name. You know? But there's a lot of people that didn't want me to rise. People, they subscribed to me at first, but when I got too big for my bridges, it seems, for a lot of these people that are very racist, now they'll watch my videos, but they don't want to subscribe because they don't want me to get as big as I once was. Because I was pretty much one of the biggest BPers last year. 2024 was Black Pill Villa, point blank. Everybody was talking about Black, everybody. You know what I mean? Even, but I told you, I had big YouTubers, hundreds of thousands of followers, 250K. The biggest one, 375K, hit me up last year. You guys seen it? There are some of my comment sections. So you guys know that I'm the real deal. You guys see what person who speaks this truth like this gets doxxed, gets kicked out their house, gets homeless, gets nothing, gets trapped in isolation and desolation, and still comes back with all the pain inside my heart, with all the pain inside my mind, still rapping, still making beats, still trying to make a way,